TPP agreement, I'm actually gonna just scroll down to the, I think it was section G. Yep, section G, copyright and related rights. This is what I want to talk about. Because, seriously, who uses the phonogram, which is a symbol representing a vocal sound? Do we actually really need that in the TPP sections? Because it is so annoying. Yes, we are doing sound bites. Let's call them phonograms. Seriously, it is a waste. And I do mean it is a complete waste of using phonograms in rights of reproduction. We already know what rights of reproduction is if we reproduction a completely different movie, if we reproduction the same movie, the same book, and such. Yes, I know we can actually be sued under it. But hey, look at Spider-Man. They done it twice. The original Spider-Man, and then this new version of Spider-Man, which actually just sucked. Do we actually need related rights? Yeah, bullshit. Definitions. Do we actually need the definitions in this TPP agreement? No, because we already know what the definitions are. Broadcasting means transmission by words, means for public reception of sounds or of image and sounds, or of the representations, therefore, of transmission by satellite is also broadcasting. Transmission of encrypted signals also is broadcasting. Whether the means for the encryption are provided by the public to the public by the broadcasting organization or with its consent. Really, do we really need that definition in here, along with the communication of public, fixation, performers, phonogram, producer of phonogram, publication of a performance or a phonogram? No. Terms of protection for copyrighted and related rights. Well, that shouldn't even be in there for starters. Application of bearing Article 18 and Article 14.6 of the TRIPS agreement. And no. Nope, and nope. Limitations and expectations. Nope. Appropriate balance of in copyright and related rights system. Yes. Shows, movies, anime, companies, they actually rely on the fandom. Yes, the fandom. The fandom actually writes stories, does music, makes shows and such. Yes, they can actually use the right because they actually emailed the company that actually owns the rights. Yes, they can try and get people that actually lend the voice to characters of an anime or TV show or any other cartoon. And this is what really shits me off, because you actually have a number of people, and I do actually know a number of people online who actually use fandoms to actually put out music and such. Confidential transfers. No, do we really need this? Because it's employment underlying the creation of works, performances, and phonograms. So, shall be able to exercise the right in that person's own name and enjoy fully the benefits devised from that right. Maybe. Technological protection measures. Yeah, like the government not spying on us. Seriously, the Australian people don't need the Australian government to actually spy on them. What's this about forcing companies to keep the metadata? Well, metadata is actually that of your internet bandwidth and such that you actually use, so which is basically your browsing data. Rights management of information. Guess what? I'm not giving my rights to my internet provider to actually use my metadata against me. So that is a strike against my internet provider. General section. Oh, here we go. Enforcement. Gee, I wonder if there's going to be something about people with dual citizenship sitting for office and holding a seat. Nope. Let's say each blah blah blah. That's section 1. Section 2 of Article QQ H1. Each party confirms that the enforcement procedures set forth in Articles QQ H4 and ooh. Oh, Mr. Tony Abbott, or should I call you Jonathan Tony Abbott? The second. Mr. Abbott can actually be charged under TPP. Woohoo! Oh, enforcement penalties with respect to national intellectual property rights. Yeah. Civil and administrative procedures and remedies. It's a good read. They're a bit long. Special measures. Special requirements related to border measures. So, yeah, the Australian government's actually in trouble. Mainly the coalition, aka the Australian Liberal Party. Procedures and penalties, which Tony Abbott can actually come under, because he made a promise that no cuts to the ABC, no cuts to the SBS, no cuts to health, no cuts to education. What happened? He made cuts to them all, and there goes about $80 million from education and health. So that was an attack against Australia's own people. A few other things under section Article QQ7H as well. Commercial advantage or financial gain. Yeah, Joe Hockey can come under that, along with the Australian Liberal Party. It's themselves. A few other things as well, which respect to the offences of which the article requires parties provided for criminal procedures. Yeah, the Australian people does actually can actually take the Australian Liberal Party to court and actually have the Liberal Party disbanded completely. Trade secrets. Yeah, there's got to be protection for companies, because the unauthorized willful access to trade secrets held in the computer system is actually called cyber hacking, which you can actually be done in by under cyber laws now. Protection of encrypted program carrying satellite and cable signals. Yeah, you can be done in for that as well. It actually doesn't say anything much about how it's going to be protecting people and such about it, and everything else. It just goes on, each party shall make it a criminal offence to manufacture, sell, modify, import, export, sell, lease, or otherwise dispute a tangible or intangible device or system, knowing or having reason to know that the device or system needs at least one of the following conditions, which I'm not actually going to say. With respect to an encrypted program carrying satellite signal, willfully receive such a signal or further distribute such signal, blah blah blah, each party shall provide blah, everything else. government use of software. So basically, it's just criminal charges and everything else. Section 1 is net service providers. Here we go, and we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere good now. Parties recognise the importance of facilitating and continued development of legitimate online servers operating as intermediaries and in the matter with Article 41 of the TRIPS agreement. Funding enforcement procedures that permanent effective, blah 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 blah. Framework. Legal necessities for internet service provider to cooperate with copyright owners to determine the unauthorized storage and transmission of copyright material. YouTube comes into that. Considering I actually saw someone have up Valkyrie Drive Mermaid, I should say. And they actually showed it in full. That was actually small size, but it was still viewable because it had number of how should I say this? Number of adult themes in it. So you could say that that person is now in trouble under the TPP and everything else. As well, because they're actually in trouble with YouTube. And I'm actually playing Destiny, so I'm killing a bunch of Taken. But I'm not actually showing it because it is actually on my TV screen, not on my computer. And you can't get Destiny for computer anyway because it's really not accessible at all. Now that I've finished that part, I can continue going on about the Internet Service Providers, Section 1. Limitations of law that have received mandatory relief against Internet Service Providers for copyright infringements that they do not control, initiate, or direct, and that take place through systems or network controlled or operated by them or on their behalf. So I can actually say if my internet provider actually says, oh, you've been watching this, this, and this, and this, these shows have actually been subbed. I'm actually downloading shows that I can't even get in Australia. That is how stupid the law is, and how stupid this TPP is. In Australia, you can't get a number of anime shows. You can't get a number of shows that come from Japan. Sure, we have Power Rangers English version, but what about the Super Sentai version, which is actually Power Rangers in Japan? When is that coming to Australia? Answer is never. It's the same with Kamen Rider. Do we get it in Australia? Oh, we only had Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. In Japan it's called Kamen Rider Rookie. So we don't get a number of Kamen Rider episodes. And I do mean we don't get a number of them. We don't get shows that are released in the US, Japan, England, or anything like that. Now here's the thing. I'm down at Section J, which is the final provisions, and I do mean the final provisions, which actually expect as otherwise provided in QA 1 obis or 10 BS in paragraph 2 to 4, each party shall give effect to provisions of this chapter on the date of entry into force of this agreement for that party. So we got in case of Malaysia, yeah, they got 11 things there. In case of Mexico, they get away with 6. In case of New Zealand, They can get away with just one. We don't even get shows from New Zealand either. In case Peru don't get shows in Australia from Peru, and they can get away with two. Vietnam, they have like about 25 things, but nothing here for Australia, which means Australia isn't, and by right, locked into the TPP. So, yay! I am glad to actually have that bit of news. Though I could actually be wrong. Though actually keywords to TPP, United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Singapore, Japan, Mexico, Peru, Vietnam, Chile, Trade Treaty, Investor State Dispute Statement, or Settlement I should say, ISDS, ICSID, Graphical Indications, Copyright, Internet, Pharmaceuticals, Trademark, Parent, blah blah blah. Transition contains TPP confidential information, modified handling authorized. I actually like to see this full thing. And I do mean I actually want to see the full thing. I want to see the full thing of it. Which is now coming up. And someone just messaged me on something. They messaged me on... Yeah, they can... Oh wait. It's nothing important, really. That's just messages on how I'm doing and such. Well, gee, I'm actually doing fine. How are you doing all out there? Anyway, I will actually be posting the link to this. So, agreement documents, environmental concentration text, environment chairs report, updated intellectual property chapter. Here we go. It's been updated. I wonder what it's been updated with. Release the second updated version of the Transmission Intellectual Property Rights chapter. Ooh. Oh, and US and Japan lead attack on affordable cancer treatments. About blade damn fucking time. Press release updated secret Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, the IP Chapter 2nd publication, the second updated version of Trans-Pacific Partnership Rights Chapter, the TPP is the world's largest trading agreement that will, if it comes into force, compresses more than 40% of the world's GDP. The IP chapter covers topics from pharmaceuticals, parent organizations, issues to digital rights. Experts say it will affect freedom of information, civil liberties, and access to medicines globally. WikiLeaks release comes ahead of the chief negotiations meeting in Canberra on 19th October 2014, which is followed by what is meant to be the Vice Ministerial meeting in Sydney. Yeah, blah blah blah. That was last year. So, I reckon this is actually out of date. Actually, it does say it's October 5th, 2015. So that one's a bit out of date. Same with that one. So, that's actually out of date. The full thing. Read the full press release? Yeah, okay. I'll read the full press release. Let's have a look. That's actually probably going to give me... Yeah. Read the document. Which is basically what I just came from by the looks of things. Yes, I did. Yep. Just came from that. is dated for, which is October 5th, so it's basically taken this long to actually get out. The US Congress nearly approved to fast-track the TPP, preventing the Congressmen from discussing or amending any parts of the treaty. Only voted for or against it. 218 voted fast-track measure, and 208 against, and 28 House Democrats backed it. TPP is the first of a trinity of US-backed economic treaties, the big 3 T's, to be finalized. The other two being Trade and Service Agreement, which covers 52 countries, and the TTIP, the EU-US version of the TPP, which means we're virtually still screwed. So if it actually does come into effect, well, we're all screwed anyway, so it doesn't matter which way we actually look at it. So I'm just gonna raise my beer can. Yeah, my beer can. I don't care. To a very good night of me actually watching wherever I want. Wherever I want, and where am I gonna be? So I'm also gonna actually have to have a look at this laptop as well. Apparently the cord keeps popping out of something, and I hate when that happens, so I'm actually gonna quickly fix that before I even watch anything else or play anything else. Yes, Xbox One, but for all you out there that actually say, oh, he's an Xbox One fan, oh no, he is free as well. And yes, you can watch YouTube on both. So I'm part of the Master Race generation, where it also includes laptops and PCs, so if anyone wants to start a fight with me, this is your only warning. Don't start a fight with me, especially when I can actually call you a hardcore PlayStation fan, or a hardcore stupid fan, which is actually the correct terminology of someone who actually has their head so far up a company's ass they can't even tell that another company actually has great games as well, especially when they're on the PC. I was like, oh, I'm on PC, it's got 8 gig of RAM, blah blah blah. Well, guess what, my gaming rig actually has 32 gig of RAM, a solid state drive, a terabyte hard drive, which I'm going to be updating, and hopefully soon. Though also I can play most of the games, which includes Guild Wars, Abe's Odyssey, which is actually was actually a free game from Steam themselves. Oh, let's not forget Neverwinter. Oh yes, and the controversial Hotline Miami 2, which the developer said go ahead and download it if you're in Australia. Actually, that's actually a good game. Heroes of the Storm, Prime World, Team Fortress 2, Champions Online, DC Universe Online, which I have to actually play. Actually? Do I keep playing Destiny on the Xbox One, or do I play DC Universe Online for 30 minutes? I think I'll play DC Universe Online for 30 minutes. So, adios amigos, muchachos, and everyone else in between. This is Slither Nugger signing off. Thank you. Thank you very much.